You know exactly who I'm talking about, right? There's always that one person. You see them, and man, you've thought about saying something a lot.
Maybe it's at the gym, in the same corner every single Monday. Or maybe it's in that big lecture hall, just a few rows ahead. You don't know their name. You've never even really spoken.
And look, the problem isn't that you don't know what to say. The real problem is what's going on inside your own head, way before you even think about opening your mouth. So, how do we actually fix that internal monologue? Well, that's what we're going to dive into. This is all about the art of talking to anyone, but without all that pressure and, the constant overthinking. Okay, first things first. We have to understand what's actually happening in our minds. Let's talk about that moment, that freeze, right before you even think about saying hello. And let's be real here for a second. You're not actually scared of talking. I mean, you talk to people all day long. So what is it? What are you really afraid of in that one specific moment? It's this stuff, right? The fear of being judged or, oh God, saying something super awkward or just being completely ignored. And maybe the biggest one, the fear of ruining that perfect image you've already built up in your head.
And that right there, that gets to the absolute core of it. Your brain isn't treating this like a simple hello. No, it's flagging it as a huge, high-stakes social risk, especially if it's someone you find attractive, or someone who seems really confident, or just someone you have to see all the time. The stakes just feel incredibly high, even when they're really not.
Okay, so now that we know that, what's the one big mistake that almost everyone makes? The one thing that just pours fuel on this fire of anxiety? Let's break it down, because honestly, understanding this is the key to unlocking the whole thing. You're romanticizing the moment. You're building it up in your head to be this massive, movie-like scene where every single thing has to go absolutely perfectly. See, you think you need that perfect opening line, some super witty comment, basically a flawless performance. But what you actually need, it's so much simpler. All you need is a moment of normal human connection. Just your simple, calm presence. That's it. Conversations don't start by trying to impress someone. They start just by being present. And what's crazy is that just one little mindset shift can get rid of like 70% of that anxiety. Seriously, you just have to stop seeing them as that person I need to impress and start seeing them as, well, a regular person. Someone with their own insecurities, their own awkward moments. Trust me, they are not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. Okay, enough theory, let's get practical. I've got a super simple 3-step start for you. And the best part? It doesn't require a ton of confidence. It just requires a little bit of context. Step 1, just become a familiar face. Seriously, before you even say a word, a simple nod or a quick, neutral smile over a few days, it makes you not a stranger anymore. Step 2, you start with context, not confidence. And step 3, you keep that first interaction short, on purpose. So, what's a context-based opener? It's just something directly related to the situation you're both in. Like at the gym, it could be as simple as, hey, is this machine usually free around this time? In class, have you taken this subject before? See? They feel natural because, well, they are natural. Context takes away all that pressure to be clever. Okay, so you've done it. You broke the ice. You had that short, context-based chat. So, what now? How do you actually build on that first hello and turn it into a real conversation down the line? All right, here's the secret, and it's a really big one. Stop trying to think of the next witty thing to say. Just stop. Instead, just listen. Listen for something you can ask a question about. Your job isn't to perform. It's to guide the conversation with actual curiosity. And you know what? This completely redefines the goal. A good conversationalist isn't some great talker who puts on a show. It's someone who's a good listener, someone who makes the other person feel like they were actually heard. That's it. That is the entire skill. And remember this too, your energy, your vibe. It says way more than your words ever will. Relaxed shoulders, a calm tone of voice, speaking just a little slower, those things scream confidence way louder than any perfect line. So don't rush. Don't try too hard to be funny. Just be calm. All right, now for what I think is the most important part of this whole thing. We need to talk about what the real goal is here. And yeah, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, rejection. Look, not everyone is going to respond the way you hope, and that is 100% okay. Getting rejected doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're awkward or boring. All it means is that it was a mismatch.
Maybe the timing was off, or their mood, or your personalities just didn't click. Real confidence isn't about never getting rejected. It's about knowing how to handle it when it happens and not letting it crush you.
And that brings us all the way back to the real goal. The goal isn't to get a phone number. It's not to impress them or force some kind of attraction. The real goal is all about you. It's for you to get comfortable just being yourself, for you to be able to speak without that fear screaming in your head. Because when you can do that, you just let connections happen naturally without trying to force anything.
So, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this simple thought. You don't need to be smooth. You just need to be real.